Hello students, we had seen the first part of The Sound of Music, in which how Evelyn Glennie, despite of being unable to hear, yet she was really leads a successful life in the field of music. Now here we have another part 2 in the same The Sound of Music, and this is about the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Let's see who is Bismillah Khan and what this Shehnai is all about. Before you read, do you know these people? What instruments do they play? Now this is an activity for you people. Okay, try to find out who are these great people and try to find out what music instrument they are playing. Think of the Shehnai, and the first thing you will be probably imagine is a wedding or a similar occasion or function. The next would probably be Ustad Bismillah Khan, the Shehnai maestro playing this instrument. Now Shehnai is a type of this type bean which is there, okay, and it is played during any occasion or function, and the first thing which comes in our mind is a wedding. Now here Ustad Bismillah Khan, he is a Shehnai maestro. Shehnai maestro means a very master of this playing Shehnai. Let's start. Emperor Aurangzeb named the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence for it. Band. The playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence, for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. So Emperor Aurangzeb, all of you know, he was a Mughal emperor, and he had banned, okay, prohibited. Banned means forbid or prohibited the playing of pungi in the royal residence, in the palace, because it had a really shrill, unpleasant sound. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. So it became a generic relating to a group, a name which was given for reeded noisemakers. Few had thought that it would one day be revived. Many thought that one day this pungi would be born again, will be brought to life again. A barber of a family of a professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. So once what happened, a barber family of professional musicians, so in this family there were musicians, and who had access to the royal palace. Access means approach, okay, who was going to royal palace. He decided that let me improve the quality tone of this pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi. So he chose a hollow stem. Hollow means empty stem, and it was little longer and broader than the pungi, and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. So when he started playing this Shehnai, so this is Shehnai and this is pungi. Okay, Shehnai is long, broad, and it had 7 holes on it. Okay, and when they play the Shehnai, they used to open and close these holes. And when it did this, it played a very nice melodious music. He played the instrument before royalty and everyone was impressed. And when he played this instrument, all of them were impressed, okay, admired by this. The instrument, so different from the pungi, had to give one a new name. And now this instrument was to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first placed in the Shah's chambers, okay, Shah's palace, and was played by a nai, by barber, the instrument was named the Shehnai. So this is the story how this instrument was named as Shehnai. The sound of Shehnai began to be considered auspicious. So the sound of Shehnai was really auspicious, favorable, and for this reason it is still played in the temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. So From that day onwards, the sound, since it was really pleasant, favorable, it had been started to be played in temples and in any North Indian wedding. It became an indispensable component. Okay, indispensable means very important component of the North Indian wedding. In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. So in the past, the Shehnai was one of the part of Naubat. Naubat means group of traditional ensemble. Ensemble means a group of musical instrument. Okay, this one Shehnai was a part of which was found in royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temple and wedding. So till today only it was used in temple and wedding. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Now, Shehnai was only played in temples and wedding, but the one who brought this into classical stage was none other than Ustad Bismillah Khan. So this is how Bismillah Khan is related to Shehnai. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dumrao in Bihar. So when Bismillah Khan was 5 years old, he was playing Gilli Danda near a pond, okay, in the estate of Dumrao in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Biharji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kilogram, a prize given by the local Maharaja. So every day, Bismillah Khan used to go to Biharji temple where he used to sing Bhojpuri Chaita. Okay, and in the prize he was given a big laddu which was weighing 1.25 kilogram by the Maharaja. This happened 80 years ago. This is a story about 80 years ago. And the little boy has travelled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. And this happened in his life 80 years ago. And today he has been awarded as the highest citizen award in the India, and that is the Bharat Ratna. So Ustad Bismillah Khan was honoured with Bharat Ratna. Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. So, Bismillah Khan was born on 21st March 1916 and he belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather, Rasul Baksh Khan, was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpur King's Court. So his grandfather, even he was a musician and he was the Shehnai Nawaz of Bhojpur King's Court. His father, Paigambar Baksh, and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. Paternal means relating to his father. So his father, grandfather, his uncle, all were great Shehnai players. The young boy took to music early in life. So now since his family was of musicians, this boy was taken to music very early in his life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now which is known as Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. So at the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle, maternal means relating to mother, okay, his mother's brother, maternal uncle, in Banaras, he was fascinated, attracted when his uncle was practicing the Shehnai. Soon Bismillah Khan started accompanying his uncle. So he started playing with his uncle Ali Baksh to the Vishnu temple of Banaras where Baksh was employed to play the Shehnai. So soon he used to accompany his uncle Ali Baksh, his name was, and he used to every day go to Vishnu temple in Banaras to play the Shehnai. Ali Baksh would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on end. So his uncle would play the Shehnai and he would be captivated, okay, and he was caught with this sound and he used to hear it, listen it for hours to end. Slowly he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. Slowly, even he started learning how to play this instrument and he would practice throughout the day. For years to come, in the temple of Balaji and Mangal Maya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. So then later on, after many years, the temple of Balaji, Mangala Maya and on the banks of Ganga, he became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. So he used to go to these temples on the banks of the river Ganga, and he would play the Shehnai alone. In solitude means alone. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent rags that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai. And hearing the flow of river Ganga, he was inspired, motivated to invent new rags, which first were considered as impossible to be played on Shehnai. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. Meeting. Conference means meeting. He accompanied his uncle. At the end of his recital, Ustad Faiz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." And there, Ustad Faiz Khan, patted this young boy and said that, "Work hard, my dear boy, and you will really make it." With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938, came Bismillah Khan's big break. So in 1938 in Lucknow, he had played music and his sound could be heard on All India Radio. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio, and from that day onwards he became as an often heard, many times heard Shehnai player on radio. So till here we saw today what Shehnai is and how Ustad Bismillah Khan was related with Shehnai, where he was born, how he got into the profession of playing musician and how he was trained. Let's see the further part in our next video.